Well, hello again to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. Georgia Beer Reviews back at you today with another one. And I'm looking at another beer from Steady Hand Beer Company. I've had several of their beers. I think I've posted one or two reviews of the other beers that I've had from them. This is a coffee stout, Imperial coffee stout. Um, so Steady Hand Beer Company is it's an interesting company. It says on the can here up top, it says Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, but on the bottom here it says brewed and canned for Steady Hand Beer Company by Coastal Empire Beer Company in Savannah, Georgia. It's almost like it's contract brewed. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, interesting sounding beer. 9% alcohol by volume. They do have a website, steadyhandbeer.com, if anybody's interested. I like their logo. I like the label design on their beers. Cool stuff. All right, so let's see what this 9% Imperial Coffee Stout has to offer. A lot of coffee, that's for sure. Definitely coffee forward on the aroma. I'm smelling a lot of coffee. I'm getting some of that roasted barley malt. There's something else in here I can't quite, I'm having a hard time putting my finger on it. The main thing is the coffee and the roasted barley malt. Maybe a little vanilla. Maybe that's what it is. Something sweet, but I'm having a hard time placing it. It doesn't smell bad. It's just I'm having a hard time trying to figure out what it is. But it does smell good. It's mostly coffee forward on the aroma. You're not picking up on any of the alcohol on the nose. At 9%, you know, that's getting up there. So, but it does smell good. Let's go ahead and get into it and see what we're dealing with here. Cheers. All right, coffee, coffee, coffee. If you like coffee, you'll probably like this beer. Um, very coffee forward. Leads into a nice, darkly roasted um, barley malt component in the middle of the sip. A nice toasted bread note. Very darkly toasted bread note. Not burnt, but very darkly toasted. Um, it's pretty heavy bodied. The carbonation is light. The finish is wet. It's not boozy, but I can tell this is a higher alcohol product just because of how heavy it is, really, and because of the warming effect going down. But it's not alcohol forward taste wise, but you can tell it's a high alcohol product. Um, let's see. I've had a lot of coffee stouts over the years, especially within this past year. That seems to be a big trend, coffee stouts. And I gotta say, although this one is really, really good, it's far from the best coffee stout I've had. It's a little bit one-dimensional because it's so coffee forward. All of the other flavors are just kind of in the background. Um, it is very enjoyable though. This is one if you're a huge if you're a big coffee guy and that's your thing, then you'll love this beer because it is extremely forward with the coffee flavor. There's a nice bitterness that is coming from the coffee as well. I don't know what the IBUs are on this, but I imagine they're relatively, I would say probably 40 to 50, and then the bitterness that you're getting from the coffee amps it up even more. So even though it does have some nice sweet notes, it's very bitter on the finish. Um, with a stout, a lot of times you get some nice sweet, like dark chocolate, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, vanilla. I'm really not getting too much of that with this one. It's mostly the coffee and the roasted barley malt, that toasted bread note and coffee. Um, the mouthfeel is medium to heavy. The body is pretty heavy, and it is warming going down. You're drinking a high alcohol beer. It is enjoyable, but like I said, I've had other coffee stouts that I would prefer to this one. So one more sip, and I'll go ahead and give you guys a rating. For me, this one does not make it into that A range. It's close, but it's not quite there. And actually, it's probably not as close as I'd like it to be. But I'm gonna go with an 87. An 87 out of 100 for Steady Hand Beer Company's Imperial Coffee Stout out of brewed in Savannah, Georgia. So a local beer company. Um, I see all of their beers around here. I've had many of their beers, many of which are better than this one. This one is still good, like I said, 87 out of 100, but they make a lot of other products that are better than this. So that'll do it for this beer review, guys. 87 out of 100 for Steady Hand Beer Company's Imperial Coffee Stout. Let me know if you guys have tried this, what you think, and that'll do it, guys. Until next time, everybody. Cheers.